ugly white man. They don't look friendly. Who are those assholes anyway? It's like some ugly Dutch guys with guns. I'm guessing it wasn't particularly friendly to the current power. They look like they were either coming from or on their way to oppressing a black man. First order business, man. When I take my country back, first order business is take that shit down. Am I right or what? I'm kind of amazed. Tear that down.
I took a walk through this beautiful world. Felt the cool rain on my shoulder. Found something good in this beautiful world. I felt the rain getting colder. Sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la.
In July 2013, when I went to South Africa, 95-year-old Nelson Mandela was critically ill. And the country he freed from white minority rule was already in mourning, and already fearful of what the future might be without him.
It's really, really sad because the world still needs him. He's the guy who fought for our freedom.
I pray that somebody takes the baton from him.
I wish him a speedy recovery and come back to his people.
So a good friend of mine, a really great travel writer, said something that the more I travel, the less I know. I feel that particularly strongly here in South Africa, a place I came in a state of near total ignorance, loaded with preconceptions. For the first part of my life, the South Africa I knew was not a happy place or a good place. It was a pariah state, surrealistically, outrageously divided into black and white. A throwback to attitudes we thought we'd long learned to reject. The nationalist government in South Africa enacted apartheid laws in 1948. Who you could marry, where you lived, where you could walk, be educated, everything decided by racist laws backed by police, army, and secret services. The institutionalized racial discrimination was designed to maintain white minority power and economically suppress the black and mixed race South Africans who lived in townships, mostly in poverty. In 1923, the African National Congress was formed. By 1961, it had been radicalized by the influence of a young Nelson Mandela, among others, and formed an armed wing called the Spear of the Nation.
Do you see Africans being able to develop in this country without the European being pushed out?
We have made it very clear in our policy that South Africa is a country of many races. There is room for all the various races in this country.
In 1963, Mandela was charged with sabotage and conspiracy and sentenced to life imprisonment on Robben Island. It would take another 27 years of violence and injustice before the inevitable would happen.
You believe in apartheid? I believe that it is according to God's will that the white race should be preserved.
With South Africa's white minority under international sanctions, internal political pressure, and the decline of the communist threat, Mandela was released from prison in 1990. In '94, he was elected president of a new, free South Africa. There have been very few figures in the entire history of the world as revered or as important as Nelson Mandela. But the question is, what happens next? Johannesburg, or Joburg, or Jozi, the largest city by population in South Africa and the economic powerhouse of the country. Southwest of Johannesburg, Soweto, originally an acronym for Southwestern Townships. Now, the area is considered a suburb. In 2010, South Africa played host to the World Cup. The Blackjacks, who played for the opening celebration, are a Soweto-based band. They are also, not surprisingly, soccer fans. We're here on game day, a grudge match in a country where soccer approaches religion. You can feel it in Soweto, or rather, you can see it, as everywhere you look, people show their love for either the local Orlando Pirates or for the Johannesburg Kaiser Chiefs. Ma Willie's Inn, a typical local joint in Soweto. The perfect place to watch a game, talk about a game, drink yourself silly over the results of a game, or just have a very fine local-style meal. It is, however, a little hard to find. There are a lot of places like this. I mean, this used to be like the garage or the carport, right?
Yeah, definitely.
In what was once a garage are now 6 tables, a lawn-turned lounge out back. Closed on Sundays if grandma's visiting. These kinds of bars were born during apartheid times, when black South Africans not allowed to own businesses in white areas adapted and improvised. They did their own thing, created these little micro, under the official radar restaurants known around here as eat houses.
I mean, back in the days, obviously, it was illegal, you know.
Right.
Like during apartheid, that's where they'll have meetings to actually plan what they're gonna do.
Right, so this would be considered a hotbed of sedition and...
Yeah, exactly.
Now it's just a hotbed of drinking and...
Yeah.
Different kind of sedition.
Mpumi and Tsapeng from the Blackjacks have just finished watching the game when I joined them for some food. Generally speaking, are these good times to South Africa? Bad times? Transitional times?
Obviously, 1994 was the peak of the good time in South Africa. Then now with all the politics, you know, all the parties fighting, it's quite tense right now.
It's not like it was before, where everybody's, you know, it's black and white, literally. Right. You know, like we're unified on this and they're unified on that.
These days, the party that freed the country from white rule, the ANC, is not universally loved anymore. In recent years, they've been criticized for inaction, corruption, and cronyism, and opposition parties are gaining strength.
So now it's more nuanced, and I think that's maybe new to us.
Right.
So I think we're trying to navigate this nuanced reality. Like, how do you deal with so many opinions, and you know, the party that you loved the whole time that brought about this freedom is fumbling the ball. So what do you do? Because in democracy, you should act.
As the smiley for snack.
Ah.
Smileys, fire-roasted sheep's head, lips shriveled back in a Joker-like rictus of deliciousness, chopped into tasty, tasty bits and eaten with cold beer? Yes, of course, yes. Just needs a little salt and pepper. Good stuff. That looks good.
Yeah, this is pap.
And what is it?
It's like maize.
Pap, or meal pap, a sticky porridge made from ground cornmeal. It fills the role that grits do in the American South, rice in much of Asia. It's tasty, relatively nutritious, and cheap filler. And it sops up gravy when you have something like this stewed beef real good.
That's that traditional dumpling there.
That's a dumpling?
Yeah, it's not really like other dumplings.
Dumplings, important throughout the African diaspora. Made with flour and yeast, a spongy bread-type tool for mopping up sauce. Stewed greens, carrots, beans, and more gravy. Wow, that's awesome. So, tell me about your band. How long have you guys been together?
About 10 years now.
Whoa, long time.
Yeah.
Would you say you're an indie band?
Well,
is there an indie scene in what I guess I'm getting at? Is there a support? I was kind of getting there.
Is there South African Williamsburg?
In terms of South African street culture, people are really pushing the boundaries now. We didn't really have a scene when we started. You look around, it's like, man, like demographic is crazy.
What do you mean by that?
It's not just racial, the classes, you know? And people are being pushed and pulled. It's like an aspirational culture. Like,
what do you think that means?
the whole Rainbow Nation notion was quite romantic and ridiculous, you know, like racism is not on a piece of paper, so just because we voted it out doesn't mean people stop being racist, you know? So it was ridiculous in that sense, but we've lived something else for 20 years. People want it, it's no longer like a coffee table idea.
Good luck. This is Sansa Sandil.
You're looking nice, Nana.
Pioneer of sorts.
Respect that.
He's taken a traditional cookshop space in the Yeoville neighborhood of Johannesburg and done something different.
Hello, beautiful things. Where you been? How are you?
Yeoville is a neighborhood where just about everybody comes from somewhere else.
I came here around 20 years ago from Soweto. I grew up in Soweto. And then when we heard about the bells of change, we all ran to this central part of the city.
With the end of apartheid and the emergence of Mandela as not just an inspirational figure, but the beginning of real and compassionate Black African government, South Africa became a beacon and a refuge for millions of Africans from all over the continent. Black South Africans fought hard for their freedom, for their country. As I understand, a lot of them are pretty pissed off about, hey, we're just getting together and, whoa, all these Congolese and Nigerians, well, you know, they're coming in.
Of course, there's got to be that
right.
Giving and taking, you know. And then people have been saying Mandela's going to die, we're going to kick all these people away.
Right.
You know, that's not what our people are all about. And then now that's when I took, you know, the tool of food, because that was the first way to engage.
Sansa has no formal culinary training. He's completely self-taught, picking up bits and pieces where he can, often from the women in the neighborhood. So you're plucking the best of everybody's culinary culture?
Every day I learn. The smell, the colors they brought. What are you eating? Where are you from? You know, and being taught by some men, like, this is not how it's cooked at home, you know.
Right.
Go to that auntie. She's a back of some ginger club at the back there. There's a small kitchen. Look there, that's a bit nice. She'll teach you something, you know, and then that's me.
Wow.
When I'm, hey, auntie, you know, I'm really keen in how you're making your this particular sauce.
And they'll show you?
They'll show me stuff. And I pick up, and then I rush back to the shop and I try it out. So I got all the elements now.
At his cookshop, he mixes recipes, ingredients, techniques, and traditions as he sees fit. One reviewer described his style as gastronomic smuggling, moving people across borders with dishes that slyly partake of elsewhere. On today's menu,
I made this for you. This is a goosey and beef, a traditional Nigerian dish. Okay. They usually use a cow leg.
Beef stewed with melon and pumpkin seeds. There's futu, the ubiquitous cornmeal porridge, but made to a texture more crumbly than pap.
This is like basmati rice with rose water. This is achar, aubergines and mango, and then a pickle. And then this has got cassava in it. The Congolese.
Like a peas with cassava.
They with the cassava. These are the falafel.
Right. Good taste.
Is it?
Oh, yeah. Awesome. Do good food here. Menu change every day?
That's the idea.
You're doing a lot of great food in a small space.
There are no seats. His customers remain part of the constantly unfolding street theater of Yeoville. They mingle, talk, observe.
Lots of people, lots of stories pass through here. Lots of cultural interaction. Because everybody's got something interesting to say as far as we're concerned.
Really, because food, I knew that food is a way to really engage. You gotta put something in your mouth to get your ears open, you know.
Across town, another pioneer of sorts, an urban settler in a very different neighborhood. This is Hillbrow, a notoriously dangerous district, and this is DJ Les.
When I came here, I always dreamt of being a musician, and I see myself singing in front of a huge crowd, you know, making money in the process. That's what I dreamt about.
He spins records and promotes acts and events in nightclubs. We meet in his favorite spot, Sympathy's Restaurant. What's good? What do you like? Well, that looks good. Is that fried chicken?
There's a fried chicken.
The place is heavy with the smell of frying chicken, stewing greens. Walk right up, place your order, and be sure to get some meal pop. Heaped on a plate with beets and coleslaw, it's a nice, heavy base.
So tell me about the neighborhood.
When I first came, hey, it was rough, my friend.
492. It was like white business district, residential district.
Back then, okay, it used to be cool, it used to be clean, it used to be respected.
Once, Hillbrow was an elite whites-only center of town. But when things started to change, so did Hillbrow, becoming one of the first gray areas where whites and blacks mixed. Hillbrow became aspirational, a symbol of everything black Africans had long been denied, but was now accessible. People poured in large numbers, many of them squatters from all over the continent.
People come here with one intention: making a living, making money. Darkies, black guys start coming in, the white guys ran away.
White landlords and tenants simply walked away from their property. The disenfranchised who moved in legally, semi-legally, illegally, or just squatting, an influx of gangs and criminal organizations, the area soon slipped into anarchy.
There's a say around here, okay, that this building has been hijacked.
Entire buildings were seized to become superstores for illicit drug operations. Everything that could go wrong did.
People make a living from different things. Some they rob people to make a living. Some they sell their bodies. Sometimes things don't always go according to what you plan. Because this is where I live. This is where my life is. Yeah, we go down here. I'll show you.
We walk down the street and one of the many enterprises doing business on corners and in doorways around us becomes alarmed at the sight of our cameras. Soon there's a mob of very angry people coming our way. We do not turn around our cameras for obvious reasons. These days things are slowly improving.
But before, you wouldn't walk like this, freely. Now we are free.
There's actual law enforcement going on in fits and starts, and that's making a difference. Black-owned legitimate businesses have gained a real foothold. There are new revitalization projects like farmers markets springing up.
Hello, Dewey!
Buildings are being reclaimed and people here hope that Hillbrow is past the bad old days.
There's no fear now. You have to relax. Nothing will happen to you.
My name is Soweto, Uliang Pomakona Soweto, Uliang Pomakona Soweto, Uliang Pomakona Soweto. It's where I come from. Nipume fila kasi ya fila kasi split ya mangiting shayikona, Ubabu Mandela, mangiting shayikona, Desmond Tutu, Umamu Africa, Awini Mandela Soweto, Uliang Pomakona West, West, it's us West, 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 Uliang Pomakona West, West.
What's in a name? If the name is Soweto, you best believe it means plenty.
How are you?
This is Madhu. For over a decade, he's been in what has at times been the very difficult business of driving a taxi. You should probably know that the word taxi in Soweto means something a little different than, say, New York.
60% of the population is using taxi.
How many taxis in Johannesburg?
I would say more than 1 million.
This, coming from a potential passenger, means Soweto. Also, this and this. Johannesburg has an elaborate system of hand signals indicating desired routes of travel.
So you look at the hand signals and said, okay, I'm not going there, I'm not going there.
I'm looking at the hand signal.
In 1904, Soweto came into being as a less benign version of a housing project. It was designed as workers' lodging, a place to put black laborers comfortably removed from white society, a ghetto. By the 1950s, it had become the center of resistance to white rule, synonymous with the struggle against the whole rotten, racist system.
I remember one day, the situation was so bad in such a way that my mother had to put me inside a bath where we put shoes and hide me there under the bed. This is where I grew up most of the time. And sometimes you would get bullied. There was this time 2 guys were following me. They lifted me up and I had probably some few coins in my pocket and just turned me around. Just to shake me.
Shake you upside down?
Shake me upside down. I would never forget that moment in my life. I felt stupid, you know. Get on, ma.
How are you?
Hello.
Now there is a definite cachet to living in Soweto, a very real pride at having been at the very center of things back when it was hard and dangerous to have an opinion. Nelson Mandela lived here, Desmond Tutu. When you're a certain age and you say you were born and bred in Soweto, it means something.
Do most of these people own their homes or do they rent?
Most of the people own their homes.
They start to make a little more money, things start to get good. Can you build up?
Yeah, you can build up.
Look at the streets here and you see what that kind of pride does. It may not be a rich area, but it's immaculate, squared away, an emerging middle class coming up rather than fleeing to elsewhere.
Hey, having a nice day, gentlemen.
These ladies over here, as you can see, they're marketing for their stores.
You know where you're going, right?
Yeah, I know where I'm going.
Next exit, smoky delicious meat over flame. Under the overpass, all sorts of mystery meats for sale. The taxi man's lunch. We order some brisket, some sausage, some heart.
Beautiful thing.
Meat, a cutting board, a knife.
Cut out the meat in pieces, that's how you eat it. Most of the time they serve it with tomato and raw chili. And it's more or less like a salad food. We have salt over here. It's nice.
You chose well, these guys are good.
Oh.
Here, spread over thousands of square feet, the remnants of white colonial rule. What's left from the descendants of Bible-thumping Dutch settlers who came here to farm, to ranch, to build their own world on top of an existing one. The Boers, as they were known, came in the 1600s, and if nothing else can be said about them, they were a tough bunch of bastards. In the 1800s, the British came. Diamonds were discovered, greedheads jockeyed for power. There was war, and an ugly one. In the end, there was an uneasy sharing of power. The Boers became known as Afrikaners, and entering the 20th century, racist Afrikaner ideology grew. Apartheid laws were enacted, and white domination became the rule for almost 100 years. But look, meat. You want to see an expat South African weep? Wave some of this under their nose. Biltong.
It's like a Mussolini-themed restaurant?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Neo-fascist butchery.
Oh, the good old days.
Doesn't really look like any butcher I've ever been into.
An hour north by northwest of Johannesburg is Pretoria, still the administrative center of South Africa, once the heart of apartheid. Here you can find Matters, a father-son butchery, restaurant, and theme museum. I just don't know how I feel about this place. It doesn't fit in with my white liberal guilt sensibility.
A room like this, with all of this kind of Afrikaner paraphernalia in it, it just wouldn't be accepted an hour away. Couldn't exist.
As any South African butcher would, they sell biltong. Sprinkle some salt, brown sugar, some malt vinegar, pack in layers, repeat. After 24 hours, remove and hang to air dry for a week. Voila, a tasty, jerky treat we can all get behind. Chef Andrea Bergner, South African by birth, English and German by background, can usually be found in the trenches of her Joburg restaurant, The Leopard. She's known for her playful menus, but loathes culinary fashion. She strives for a locally grounded cuisine. Today, however, she's my guide through this twilight zone. It's weird here. And though I'm told the place usually reflects the changing demographic of modern South Africa, today, not so much. The customers may or may not have feelings about the Afrikaner memorabilia, but really, they just come for the meat. You pick your meat at the butcher counter. We choose some T-bone, some rump steak, some boerewurst, spicy sausage made from beef and pork.
And then what we must get, because I assume it's separate, is monkey gland sauce. Do you know what monkey gland sauce is?
Monkey gland sauce.
Every steakhouse has monkey gland sauce. It's barbecue sauce.
They cook it up along with some pap and fries, and presto, a colon-clogging pile of meat in the ruins of empire.
Yeah, I mean, meat is a very big thing. This is the monkey gland, and there's enough of it, I think.
I mean, good Lord, I mean, I could swim in it.
Tastes like oppression.
After this show airs, I'm going to get a huge amount of mail saying, why didn't you go to Cape Town? Great modern restaurants, cutting-edge chefs. Is it all right that I missed all of that?
I feel like those particular restaurants in Cape Town are not really representative of what most people in this country are eating. I think a lot of our most basic stuff is really what we do best. This food is absolutely got no interest in fashion. It's never going to change. It'll still be the monkey gland sauce and the boerewurst and the steak and the pap.
Do you think the white chefs here understand that the greatest advantage they have is that this enormous Pan-African larder of ingredients and flavors?
No. If you're a whitey in this city, you're probably going to eat the worst food of anyone in this city, quite honestly. In every country, I mean, obviously food is political, but it always feels like it's a bit more political here. That there are these layers of things that you couldn't have, like restaurants. I mean, I go to restaurants and I think to myself, wow, this many years ago, I couldn't have come here with this person. They were not allowed to sit in here. And I remember very clearly being about 8, the cafe owner would regularly not pay the customer who was black what's change. He would pay him with bubblegum. And the guy, somehow, he couldn't argue. It was just like the same. If you were a black guy, you got your change in bubblegum. And you'd be standing there 8 years old and feeling like, oh my God, it was so terrible, but you couldn't say anything because that would have been worse. It was just like this weird thing of sweeties. It was so uninnocent and represented such badness. It just seems mad.
This is an eland, the largest antelope in the world. It is also, and luckily for him, delicious.
There's it.
Got it.
I think that was very good. No?
That's a little sad.
It is sad, it is sad. But you know what? That is such good meat, and that's really what we do.
Though this one weighs in around a ton, rest assured, every bite, every scrap will be eaten. Some of that tonight at dinner. Chef Andrea Bergner, Dion, a local hunting expert, and myself join Prospero Bailey on his game farm. Prospero's dad, Jim Bailey, was the legendary publisher of the slyly subversive Drum magazine, the first of its kind during apartheid, a black-oriented investigative magazine slickly disguised as glossy pop culture. Prospero's farm is a mere 20 miles from Johannesburg.
Did you see the city there?
Yeah, wild, all this within sight of the city.
Near Prospero's farm and hidden within the city's shadow is what's known as the Cradle of Humankind, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, an incredible look back at where we, the human animal, came from.
So now this is a classic little sinkhole. There's loads of these. This is what this area is. I mean, the cradle, this is called the cradle. It's now a World Heritage Site because 60% of all the evidence for human evolution comes out of this valley. It's from caves like this that keep the record. The geology just conspires to preserve fossils. They're very, very rare things, hominid fossils, but they've found more here in the last 10 years than they've sort of found anywhere. So you're home. This is where you start.
This is my ancestral homeland?
This is your ancestral homeland.
Oh, that sound makes me happy. What does that sound remind you of, guys? What does that evoke for you, that sound? Primeval, you know, happy childhoods at the beach, meat sizzling over the fire, you know, parental love, your enemy's genitals frying in hot oil. Nothing? No?
Downright Precambrian, fire and fresh-killed eland. I get to work on the heart, something I strongly suspect will be delicious, and I'm right. Andrea works some magic on the liver, dredged in flour and sautéed. There's some eland loin, seared and glazed with booze. And there's eland paprikash, a riff on the Hungarian stew with paprika, peppers, onions, tomatoes, and cream. As the sun sets over the veldt, Johannesburg's lights winking in the distance, a feast.
Meat on the plate, blood on my pants, life is good. I've been very, 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 very confused by my visit here. I mean, you've got basically a goulash here, Italian-inflected liver thing going on here. The bread, someone referred to as Portuguese?
Yeah, Portuguese, but it's from Madeira, that bread, that flat bread.
South Africa, depending on who I talk to, it's a completely different construct. To some people, it's whoever comes to South Africa from anywhere else in Africa and brings good along with them. But other people, it's all the good stuff from Malaysia, East Indies. There's the Dutch, there's the English influence.
Well, there were so many different colonialists. Exactly. It is a mishmash.
What at this table is originally African, and does that even have any meaning?
This wood is pine.
It's good.
And we are African.
Sitting around.
I arrived in this country spectacularly ignorant. I will leave spectacularly ignorant, okay?
Ramadan. At this hour, all over Johannesburg, members of South Africa's sizable Muslim community observe. The religion of Islam, as well as many of South Africa's most beloved and most delicious dishes and ingredients, like sambal, chutney, and bunny chow, come from Malaysia, Indonesia, India. During apartheid, many South Africans would have been referred to as colored. Colored didn't mean black, it meant everybody else who wasn't exactly white, Asians and mixed race.
It's garlic, ginger, and chili.
In the observatory neighborhood of Johannesburg, the Razdian family prepares for iftar, the meal at sundown when fasting for Ramadan is broken.
Some curry powder.
Joey Razdian is a stand-up comedian and actor of Cape Malay background.
The beef is in.
This dish, Penang curry with beef and eggs. Joey's wife Cindy prepares a chicken pie. Son Hakim makes the traditional Ramadan shake. Daughter Leia.
Everything smells terrific.
That's barley soup, Anthony.
Nice.
It's nicer to have soup after you've not eaten the whole day. It's like, it's light and nourishing and filling and all of those good things.
There's also cheese and beef samosas.
These are delicious. You were born here, born in Johannesburg?
Yes, I was, yeah. I'm a Johannesburg guy.
So how are things?
It depends what type of things you're speaking about.
Basically, things work. Society operates the way society should. But on the other hand, anyways, this is a new country.
It is. We're 19 years old.
Everybody's from someplace else.
Yeah. I think the Africans from the other countries see South Africa as a place of hope because there's a lot bustling here. There are a lot of opportunities. Lots of people make it from here. You don't find 3 million Germans coming here or 3 million French people coming here. It's Africans who come from far less to come and find a little bit of something here.
So how do you find South Africa so far?
Yeah.
I like it. I'm very comfortable here. I like a country where people have a sense of humor, and there's a lot of wall busting going on in this country.
All the time, from the top to the bottom.
20 years from now, what's South Africa going to be like?
Their generation, the born frees now, is the ones that's giving our current president lots of yell. The born frees is the ones that was born in the new democracy.
Right.
Or just before the first election, you know?
Right.
The born frees now, they like, look here, we went to school, this is right and this is wrong. What you're doing is wrong. But we had a struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah, we weren't part of a struggle. I don't care. Thank you for the struggle. I got Twitter now.
Now I want 5 bars on my 3G. I want Wi-Fi.
Absolutely.
And it better be high speed.
Absolutely.
And why can't I have it?
Why can't I have it?
I don't think the current politicians foresaw that.
Yeah.
Foresaw the born
frees going.
Not supporting them.
There's a critical mass of young people that wants to change South Africa in a positive way. How they do it or how they go about it, I don't know the answer to that. Neither do they know the answer to that, but their intentions is clear.
No more hipster jokes. It's low-hanging fruit. And one can no longer argue against the steady creep of their foodie sensibilities. Artisanal cheeses? Yes, right over there. Handmade charcuterie? Yes, there. Thin crust pizza? A very respectable paella? Yes, yes, and yes. It's official. They're here, and they aren't going anywhere.
I like the idea of a burger for breakfast. There's something a little perverse about that.
Throw in a crowd of much more racially diverse, hungry people, and you might think you're in Brooklyn. Surely, this is not a bad thing. This is Neighbor Goods Market in the Bramfontein precinct of Johannesburg. My dining companion, City Press Arts and Features writer, Percy Mabandu, says we should hold out for this, the Balkan Burger.
Next! One with cheese for me.
All right, one with cheese, lots of cheese.
Hell yeah, flattened ground beef seared over flame.
Yeah, don't cook me, cook the food, right?
Add kashkaval and mozzarella cheese, fold it up, pick your condiments. You got cabbage, tomato, onion, lettuce, of course, and hot peppers. Up to the roof with a view and eat.
Ooh, spicy, good. I guess I want to talk about Nelson Mandela, because what I was not aware of at all was the degree to which he was personally responsible for really the nuts and bolts of the transition from white rule to majority rule.
All right.
Now he's very ill.
Ill, yeah.
What happens after Mandela, do you think?
We go on. I think the foundation is laid. And I think, thank God, we have him as a symbol. I think Mandela represents our collective better intentions as a nation. The touchstone test that we use to chart the way forward.
All the things that could have gone terribly wrong. It's a remarkable thing how well it
happened.
It went.
Between 1990 and 1994, tough times. Internecine fighting, black-on-black violence, the fear of black-on-white violence. Are we going to descend into a bloodbath? But we transcended that through that message of coming together regardless of the unresolved issues.
To what extent is it really a rainbow nation? Are things getting mixed? We like to think we live in a rainbow nation, but in fact, in the States, black and white live to a great extent in different neighborhoods.
Yeah.
It's only 19 years. In some ways, it looks to me, outside looking in, a little more gracefully mixed up than we've managed to pull off successfully in the States.
Here, you've got black, white, colored, all sorts of people here. But I think, in all fairness, also, one should acknowledge that the economic disparities are managing to keep us divided as well. I think what we need to do is unpack what we mean by rainbow. I think the idea of uniting in our diversity also means that, there'll be moments of discord.
And you think things will continue to improve?
Yeah, I think we've seen our worst. And that's not to say that we're getting it right all the time. But it's an experiment with democracy. And experiments you need to fine-tune as you go along. That's really the South African story. The dream is there, we all agree. The divisions are there, but these are not bigger than our hopes.
What did I know about South Africa before I came here? Exactly nothing, as it turns out. But I think based on what I've seen, that if the world can get it right here, a country with a past like South Africa's, if they can figure out how to make it work here for everybody, absorb all the people flooding in from all over Africa, continue to make Mandela's dream a reality, maybe there's hope for the rest of us. After 9 days of threats of imprisonment, confiscation of footage, and what was the most chaotic, difficult, yet amazing trip of my life, the last thing that stands between us and our flight home is the reason we came: the Congo River itself.
Eric, this ferry cannot move today because now it's closed and they have to repair it tomorrow.
The UN truck just said he's been here since this morning.
I've had times where I've been held up for days.
What's up, Freddie?
Start the engine.
They're starting the engine. Awesome. It just broke down again?
Yeah. We now have 1 hour of daylight left.
They're starting the engine from the started.
Okay, great. Here it comes. Yeah.
You learn quickly. In Congo, things change at a moment's notice.
Welcome to the jungle.
I took a walk through this beautiful world. Felt the cool rain on my shoulder. Found something good in this beautiful world. I felt the rain getting colder. Sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la.
Everyone gets everything he wants. I wanted to see the Congo, and for my sins, they let me. In Heart of Darkness, Joseph Conrad writes of his alter ego. When I was a little chap, I had a passion for maps. At that time, there were many blank spaces on Earth. But there was one yet, the biggest, the most blank, that I had a hankering after. This, then, is the Congo. the size of all Western Europe combined. It should be Africa's wealthiest nation. But people forget, or never even knew, that the 20th century's first Holocaust happened here when Belgium's King Leopold managed to bamboozle the world into giving him personal title to the Congo. Leopold's agents, of whom the mythical Kurtz was one, raided, slaughtered, mutilated, and pressed into forced labor much of the population in a bloodthirsty quest for first ivory and then rubber. When independence finally came, the Belgians trashed what they could and left behind a completely unprepared, tribally divided, and largely ungovernable landmass filled with stuff that everybody in the world wanted. And things pretty much went downhill from there. But this story begins with a truck stop in Rwanda.
Stocking up in Rwanda, because my expectations for food in the Congo are more measured.
If you're looking to get to the Eastern Congo, and many would ask why you'd even want to do that, the best way is to drive across from neighboring Rwanda. This country, of course, not too long ago, suffered its own appalling genocide. Behind the wheel, Dan. He's been living in the DRC for 2 years, working on a documentary about some of the several dozen rebel groups in the country. Riding shotgun, Dan's close friend and associate, Horeb, a Congolese. They're taking me across the border. One side, Rwanda. Hotels, paved roads, internet, and paperwork to be filled out. Just a few feet of barbed wire, machine guns, and cement walls away, this. Welcome to Goma. A city of 1 million, a significant number of whom are IDPs, internally displaced people, sitting rather inconveniently at the base of Mount Nyiragongo, a still smoldering volcano. Current street level is about 12 feet above where it was in January 2002 when it last erupted. Lava everywhere, which explains the less than smooth ride. One of the first things you notice out the car window, the UN. About 4 months ago, the M23, one of the various rebel groups holed up in the jungle nearby, invaded the city. The NGOs battened down the hatches. The UN stood by, hands tied. Everyone else had to fend for themselves until the rebels withdrew. The Congo is a place I've dreamed of visiting since before I ever thought I'd get the chance to travel the world.
Close your door.
Actually being here, I'm not so sure. Dan, Horeb, and I head for a local restaurant. Good food is going to be a challenge soon, so we take the opportunity to fill up on what we can. Grilled chicken, ugali, piri-piri pepper. A pretty nice meal.
Goma in the 50s, you know, tourists used to come from as far down as Rhodesia, up here to vacation.
Amazing wildlife.
And also, I remember in my childhood seeing lions just alongside of the road sometimes. Goma was a touristic place for a long time.
They're not coming anymore?
No.
No, you're just saying no.
It's a red zone.
It's looking like there won't be house-to-house fighting or artillery or mortars dropping into Goma. Was today a good day?
Well, right now we have a rebel group just 10 kilometers north of us.
Right.
And then we have maybe 7 other rebel groups that are all caught in the blender, you know? So
things change quickly in Congo.
Confused yet? Virtually all of the eastern part of the country is being contested by rebel groups, some local and others allegedly acting on behalf of interests based in neighboring countries. Recently, the largely Tutsi Rwandan-backed M23 has been active in the area around Goma, but the mostly Hutu FDLR is also here. The Mai Mai can refer to either somewhat generic local self-defense groups or specific entities like APCLS or Cheka. Some groups like the FRPI are principally defending a stake in a resource like gold, and others, like the Rea Motomboki, are mainly interested in fighting with a particular enemy. In their case, they have a beef with the FDLR. And lots of other organizations controlling territory who haven't come up with a name or a cool acronym yet. This is only a fraction of the rebel groups in a single area of the Congo. And be advised, this map was hopelessly outdated before we even got here.
It's all these variables kind of knotted into one big mess. And these are the reasons why media has a difficult time, why the Western world doesn't hear much about Congo. Because how can you sum it up in a 3-minute report?
But for us, Goma is just a stopover on the way to the Congo River. So we need to keep moving. And roads, forget it. Certainly nothing even remotely safe between Goma and where we're headed.
We're flying to Kisangani. This is the preferred route.
So we've chartered a bush plane, formerly Queen Elizabeth's flying wardrobe. When the Queen traveled, presumably in her younger years, her clothes followed in this beast, or so we're told.
I have not seen this model of plane before. A first for me.
Of course, you'll learn to take nothing for granted in the Congo.
Uh-oh.
Just as we're about to take off, thunder, lightning.
I don't see what the problem is. Well, it looks fine to me.
Let's get this thing airborne.
Wow, nice. Best to wait this one out a little bit. Crashes are pretty commonplace. Not so long ago, a plane with nearly 100 people on board went down on the same route we're taking today.
No, most planes that crash in Congo crash because of the weather, right?
Yeah, most of the time, yeah, but...
Not us. Don't worry.
Impossible, man.
The weather clears up, sort of. So we decide to give it a go.
When the weather is very bad, stay on the ground. That's
What about rebels? They shooting at the planes?
No, normally no. Okay, we'll see you after your trip.
Yeah.
Okay, have a good one.
Lifting off from Goma, we head out over the shores of Lake Kivu before circling back northeast. Our destination, what Conrad referred to in Heart of Darkness as the inner station. Here, surrounded by dense jungle, lies our rendezvous with the Congo River, a waterway responsible for both building this country and helping to destroy it. Two hours out of Goma, we land at Kisangani. This was once Stanleyville, and the country's second largest city, before war and neglect cut it off from the rest of the Congo and the world.
Stanleyville, known in Heart of Darkness as the inner station.
The Congo River stretches across the country's middle. Conrad describes it as a twisting snake with its head in the Atlantic Ocean and its tail buried deep in Africa's heart. To Europeans, it was a natural route to transport slaves, ivory, rubber, minerals, the commodities upon which modern-day Brussels and Antwerp are built. For the Congolese, both before and after the Belgians, it provided more basic things. Water, to wash, to clean your clothes in, to cook with, to drink. Also fishing. Since long before the expeditions of Dr. Livingstone and Henry Morton Stanley, the Waginya tribe has been fishing the river in unique fashion. Highly coordinated and acrobatic, the Waginya dive into the treacherous rapids of what is still referred to as Stanley Falls. Navigate downstream between baskets that need tending. Perched on a precarious network of wooden poles, they hoist together. The catch these days? Not much.
So this is the second biggest falls in this Congo River.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Ogie is a Waginya fisherman and was a guide bringing tourists to his village. Since the last two wars, Kisangani tourism has been pretty much non-existent. Chief of the Waginya, Pierre Mosala Abeka, it is said, is a direct descendant of King Ntendebuma Ifila, who greeted Stanley in the 1870s.
Please thank him for the privilege of seeing his community.
It's a present from the chief. This is a way to welcome the delegation of CNN.
The Waginya tribe made what was in retrospect the mistake of allowing Stanley to pass. The famous explorer, of course, pretty much shot and raided his way along his historic route to the coast before effectively jump-starting the colonial period. Using Stanley as administrator, King Leopold of Belgium claimed the Congo as his personal property. Under Leopold's reign, men, women, and children were tagged with numbers, separated into groups, given production quotas. If they fell short, they were whipped with the shikot, their hands cut off, hanged. An estimated 10 million Congolese were either starved, worked to death, executed, or just killed where they stood, all in just over 20 years. By the end, half the population of the country was gone.
Have you ever thought about all those years ago, if your people had just killed Stanley?
Somebody else has to come.
Somebody else would have come.
Ordinarily, a large tigerfish like this one, it's going to the market, considered way too valuable to eat. But today, guests.
It's a mean-looking fish.
She used to sell fish in the market.
The Congolese standard, limboke. It can be pretty much anything wrapped in a banana leaf and steamed.
Typical tradition.
Excellent meal. A lot of work. Though it looks like they're not having an entirely miserable time with it. The water looks good. On a good day, how many like this?
On a good day, 50.
50?
Yeah, 50. That time, two ancestors. Ancestors didn't use the catches. They just got the big fish. One basket like this, they used to catch about 10 big fish. But situation changed. The tourists used to come and see how the fishermen are catching fish.
Right, hundreds of them used to come, yes?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, things get a little better here. Maybe they come back.
I hope so.
I hope so too.
After Leopold, the Belgian government took over and pretty much continued as before. An apartheid-like system of what's mine is mine and what's yours is mine. By the 50s, there was a beautiful modern infrastructure built. Railroads, hotels, sports clubs, schools. The envy of Africa. Humphrey Bogart and Katharine Hepburn were here while filming The African Queen. They stayed at the luxury hotel, the Pourquoi Pas. This is the Pourquoi Pas now. Like everything else of that time, a hollow ruin inhabited by squatters or simply eaten by the jungle. But none of this was ever for the Congolese. They weren't allowed in many of these buildings except as help. Not even allowed to walk their own streets after dark. Not a lot of dependable electric power left in the city. But what lights do glow around town, much of it comes from places like this. Small kiosks serving the Congolese version of barbecue and what passes for cold beer. Christian is one of our fixers, tasked with keeping us on track and out of trouble. Which, believe me, is a big job around here.
You know, it's an amazing looking city. If you just blur your vision a little bit, you can see it the way it used to be.
Beautiful. I think it could be the best place to live. Very kind people. People like listening to music, sitting, taking their beers, eating.
What's a Congolese word for barbecue?
Barbecue.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I like any meat on a grill. It's looking good.
Grilled goat with kabri, a traditional goat stew on the side.
Now we're talking.
They roast it and then they put some sauce on it.
That's delicious.
As you can see, people don't eat meat. Meat is quite expensive, almost $2.
Which is a lot. That's more than most people make in a day or even 2 days. What are the first things you buy if you're very, very, very poor?
Very poor, soap.
Soap.
Yeah. Because at least you have to look a bit clean.
So soap first. Soap.
But in between, as Congolese, you got to think of dressing, looking smart, clothes. All these Congolese you can see here,
right.
If you give them $10, they'll think of at least buying soap or food and keep maybe $1 to buy a shirt.
So that's called pride.
Yeah. And there's hope.
You can plan for tomorrow.
For tomorrow.
In Heart of Darkness, Conrad writes about the greed of the Belgian colonizers. They grabbed what they could get for the sake of what was to be got. It was just robbery with violence, aggravated murder on a great scale. And after 75 years, the Congolese had had enough. But independence came quickly. And when the new country managed to inaugurate their first democratically elected leader, Patrice Lumumba, the CIA and the British, working through the Belgians, had him killed. We helped to install this miserable bastard in his place, Joseph Mobutu. He stole billions of dollars from his people and pretty much became the template for despotism in Africa. Needless to say, this situation deteriorated over the next 30-odd years. And by the time Mobutu was done, the Congo was mired in a series of civil wars, the government was no longer paying its bills, and the trains basically stopped running. This is Kisangani Station. There's one short run left. Service once a week when operational, which isn't often, I'm guessing. Abandoned by the Belgians, shot up and stripped by rebels in the 90s. The station, the engines, the ancient passenger cars, and the tracks themselves have slowly receded into the jungle. And yet all these years later, with hardly any resources, Monsieur Aloub Emile, the railway administrator, and a staff of clerks, conductors, mechanics, and engineers show up at work and do what they can in an attempt to keep things in working order.
How do you do?
He said that you are welcome to see this place.
How many employees still work here?
Ici, pendant l'état normal, nous sommes dans les 500 agents. Mais pour le moment, nous sommes dans les 200.
So at one time, you could dispatch a freight to South Africa?
Oui, justement, vous pouvez quitter ici jusqu'en Afrique du Sud, avec des correspondances évidemment.
So a hypothetical question. If the government said, okay, we're ready, we have the money, we would like to, as quickly as possible, get operational. Does he have the workers ready to go?
Oui, parce que si nous roulons aujourd'hui, c'est suite aux compétences humaines que nous avons. Parce que tout est presque bousillé. Mais ce sont des intelligences humaines qui essaient de maintenir le peu que nous avons. En tout cas, si on nous donnait encore un apport technique moderne, là, carrément, nous sautons.
And this is one of the few things here that's working today. A feature of great pride to the staff. The railway employees, I'm told, do not get paid, yet they continue to show up and work. It is said of the building of the country's once vast rail network, one Congolese died for every single tie. Like many Congolese we meet, they are, all these years later, and in spite of everything that's happened, ready and waiting for the situation to improve. You lost your way on that river as you would in a desert, till you thought yourself bewitched and cut off forever from everything you had known once. So Conrad described the Congo after piloting steamships in the early days of Belgian colonialism.
I've had something of a multi-decade obsession with the Congo. It's been kind of a personal dream, if you will, to travel the Congo River. And now, for better or worse, I get that chance. We've rented a trusty vessel, and I shall dub thee the Captain Willard. All right, did you maggots load the chickens?
Finding food along the way, it's anticipated, will be a challenge. Refrigeration of any kind is impossible.
Okay, well, I'm psyched. My dream has finally come true. Blocked by officials, This could be months. Okay, let the probing begin.
We need this boat to move now. How do we do this?
Let's get underway before they figure a new tax to levy on us.
Our trip downriver will take us some 120 kilometers, even deeper into the jungle. But instead of Kurtz and his ivory hoard, a crumbling Belgian research center with a shadowy past awaits us at our destination.
This is a turn of the century map. So as Kisangani was then called Stanleyville, Leopoldville, it would be here.
Like 3,000 kilometers or something like that.
A long way to go if we were taking the full ride.
That's what we're doing, right?
All the way to the Atlantic?
You didn't tell them yet?
I don't think we have enough spam, gentlemen.
A half-day's journey downriver, there's a local dignitary we've promised to visit.
Yeah, there's the chief who's coming down.
We arrive, late, but the king is still waiting for us. Traditional headgear, not so traditional suit. The medals given by the Belgians, proving his royal lineage.
This place belongs to the Bambole ethnic group.
And he's the king?
No, you Vremoza Mokonzi ya ekolo na yonyoso. My father ruled from 1928, and I came after him in 1963.
It's a lot of history. Incredible.
We give him a goat as a way of saying, I'm sorry for being so late, and sorry we can't stay longer. And he gives me a simple yet hefty-looking bracelet, which only later do I come to appreciate for what it is.
Horan told me this goes back to Arab, Portuguese times. It was the Arabs who taught them how to do this. So they wear them on their wrists or their ankles. This is older than our story, probably. The chief said his father gave it to him in 1935. So who knows, man? Wow. So where'd you get the bracelet? Oh, an African king gave it to me. Congo River. Where'd you get yours?
We've come a long way downriver, but with many kilometers still to go, attention is turned towards the evening meal. I figure I'll make coq au vin, which is a pretty simple way of dealing with a bunch of tough, old, stringy birds in one pot.
Getting close to killy time. The moment of truth.
It's quickly getting dark, and I'm very aware of a number of things.
How do they usually kill chickens?
Small knife.
A small knife, cut the head off.
Our chickens are thin, scraggly, and tough.
Ah, he's biting me.
In order to make anything, any kind of edible, I'm probably gonna have to stew the crap out of them. But first we gotta kill these things and collect their blood, which if you know anything about chickens, and most of my crew don't, takes time.
I'll hold the bucket, you kill the chicken.
You wanna eat? You gotta kill your own chicken and pluck it too.
Time to get killing.
But every man has a breaking point. And in retrospect, perhaps this was ours.
Saw harder.
Harder, you're almost through.
No, I'm not. You're killing him, Tom. Stop. Clean kill. Clean kill.
Now you can join our treehouse.
By the time our birds are cleaned and plucked, the sun is down and dinner is still a long way off.
Eat up the chickens. It's time to kill chickens.
Somewhere down the Congo River, and I'm continuing to deal with a few pressing concerns. The One knife on board is as sharp, really, as a soup spoon. And soon I'm frantically trying to rip out the backbone and guts in one go with my bare hands because the knife ain't shit, and it's getting darker and darker, and the damn generator keeps kicking out.
And I really need a light so I can see what I'm cutting. I can't cut what I can't see.
There's only 3 light bulbs on right now.
There's only 240 watts. There's no way it's the draw.
They're not going to eat at all. I'm never going to get through with this. Machete? No, maybe we should figure out how to cook dinner, unless you don't want to eat any dinner. Because we are really not going to eat any dinner tonight. Okay, I've had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich this week, and I would like to eat, especially as we've gone through all of this misery with these chickens. All right, where's the machete?
It would be apropos to point out that we do not want to be moving at night. We would not like to run aground in the middle of the freaking Congo.
He's gonna swim in now.
He's worried about crocs?
I can't see anything.
The currents unpredictable. Visibility nil. Time to tie up for the night. Generator issues more or less fixed, but now another just as serious problem presents itself. With the lights burning, it becomes insanely buggy. Crush the wrong one of these moths while swatting your face, and you will blow up like a balloon. Seriously.
Okay, take the other 2 bottles of wine. You can pour all 3 bottles of wine into the onions. All right, let's put the top on, bring it up to a boil.
3 hours later, and it looks like the jungle-style stew might actually work out after all.
Okay, someone wants to bring this over carefully to the table. All right, let's eat. À table. Bon appétit. Bon appétit.
In the end, my coq au vin was a bit scraggly, but passable. It is written that I should be loyal to the nightmare of my choice. I think I now understand what that means. Next morning on the river, and of course, we're not alone. Fishermen from all the surrounding villages have heard of us and have, long before we're even awake, come by to check us out.
Hey, you ever find a couple of onions for me? Don't go crazy. If we don't have, we don't have.
I will not go crazy.
All right, I will get on the spam and egg patrol. I may have invented the stealth bomber. Really, this will be our crowning accomplishment as a culture.
Get in there, boys.
Once we finally get there, we're supposed to get all the way back.
Coming back was never part of the plan, man. We're not coming back.
Yeah, they'll find us 10 years later, naked in the bush with like a necklace of Spam cans. That was glorious.
Time to get back out on the river. We have places to go. 2 days down the Congo, we're finally nearing our destination.
It's an abandoned Belgian research station. And it's still functioning in some capacity, but the Yangi itself goes about 30 kilometers in. There's over 250 buildings. They're doing it all here.
Much myth and legend surrounds this place.
Ah, there we go.
Yeah.
It has been inferred by some that the Belgians conducted uranium enrichment and a host of bizarre experiments here. However, the facts would suggest the scariest thing to ever happen here, some genetically modified banana varietals.
You made it, man. Yangambi.
Deep in the jungle and miles from anywhere. This was once the Institute for Agricultural Studies of Congo. Construction began in the 1930s. The complex was once staffed by hundreds of Belgian researchers, doctors, and engineers until they left hurriedly in 1960. With independence began a rapid decline. The eventual cessation of funding. Of the hundreds of structures built here, what used to be housing, laboratories, hospitals, and research facilities, the vast complex's library is clearly the most important to those who remain. Though crumbling like everything else, the grass is cut and grounds maintained. It's swept and kept clean. And yet, most incredibly, this man, Congo Bourdain, still fights a daily battle to stave off further decay to the thousands of volumes of books and research materials contained on these shelves.
So what happened here? Did the place stay open? Did people continue to do research?
There are some new staff, they don't get anything. But for those who have been there for long, they get an allowance from the government.
Independence comes. What happens here?
Les Blancs sont partis. La plupart ont trouvé qu'il ne fallait pas rentrer directement à chose. Comme l'INEAC continuait à œuvrer au Rwanda et Burundi, la plupart ont traversé de l'autre côté.
So, unless I'm mistaken, the gentleman just said that cutting-edge research moved to Burundi and elsewhere. The Congolese who remained, their mission all these years later has been to preserve the patrimony that existed.
All this was state-of-the-art back in the 50s when the library was built. But for 20 years, there hasn't been electricity to run the dehumidifiers to keep out the damp.
Through so many wars, through all of these difficulties, he has maintained this facility to an extraordinary degree. Why?
Pour m'avoir maintenu. Pourquoi? Parce que c'est ainsi qu'aujourd'hui on m'appelle doyen. On m'appelle doyen à cause de ça parce que si je ne suis pas là, rien ne marchera plus parce que je suis déjà connaisseur de tout cela.
Staff still show up to work and organize, catalog, and write requests for funding. Perhaps to Kinshasa or a central office where someone may or may not ever respond.
He was here pre-independence, yes? Does he remember the Belgian rule?
Non, là c'était bien, justement. Est-ce que nous on savait qu'il y aurait un changement de vie? Parce que c'était bien, justement. Hein?
No, yeah, he remembers that period of colonialism. That was the best time that they were living.
What do you say to someone who suggests that Belgian colonialism might have been the good times? The road home, such as it is. Rotting bridges, makeshift ferries. It's an adventure. Fortunately, ours was a good adventure. The Congo is a place that's always fascinated me. This is a trip I've been wanting to take since I've been writing stories or making television. But what I found was something unexpected. I met a lot of people who, for a long time, have been waiting, hoping for things to get better. A lot more hope here than there's any right to expect. When all is said and done, I wanted to go to the Congo, and I did.
It wasn't supposed to be like this. Of all the places, of all the countries, all the years of traveling, it's here, in Iran, that I'm greeted most warmly by total strangers.
Hello.
The other stuff, it's there. The Iran we've read about, heard about, seen in the news. But this I wasn't prepared for.
I took a walk through this beautiful world. Felt the cool rain on my shoulder. Found something good in this beautiful world. I felt the rain getting colder. Sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la.
Thank you. Merci. So, good to be here finally. It's taken some time. Oh, like a lot of time. Like 40 years I've been trying. Finally. Tehran, city of nearly 8 million people, capital of Iran. This neighborhood feels kind of like there are neighborhoods of Rome. This feels a lot like it. After all this time, I finally had my chance to see a country I'd heard so much about. The weather's nice, too. I don't know what I was expecting, but it's nice. A big blank spot on nearly every traveler's resume. Merci. Delicious. Thank you.
Once upon a time, there was an ancient kingdom where they found a lot of magical black stuff under the ground. But 2 other kingdoms had the key to the magical black stuff. And when they wouldn't share, the people of the ancient kingdom got mad. They voted, and their leader said the magical black stuff is ours to keep. But the other kingdoms were afraid of losing all of the magical black stuff, so they gave money to some bad men to get rid of the leader. They put back in power another leader, and they gave him money too. To some, he was a good king, but to others, he could be very cruel. After many years, the people of the kingdom got mad, this time even madder. So they scared the king away forever. And then things started to get really messed up.
Okay, that's a simplistic and incomplete way to sum up the last 100-odd years of Iranian history. But the point is, there were a lot of issues and differing agendas leading up to the explosion of rage known as the Iranian hostage crisis. Look, we know what Iran the government does. George W. Bush famously called them part of the axis of evil. Their proxies in Iraq have done American soldiers real harm. There is no doubt of this. But I hope I could be forgiven for finding these undeniable truths hard to reconcile with how we're treated on the streets everywhere we go. So forget about the politics if you can for a moment. How about the food? The food here is amazing. Cello kebab, as close as you get to a national dish, and the king of kebabs. Ground lamb with spices, a good place to start. So what do you guys do for a living?
I export nuts. I'm a curator of contemporary art.
Which is an exploding scene here.
Iranian country has 3 different cultures. Western culture, Iranian, and Islamic culture. It's really progress. It has changed a lot during last decades.
Yeah.
So this is the actual menu.
Right.
I would recommend you to try this one, and this one, and this one.
Okay.
Why not?
Cello kebab wouldn't be complete without Persian rice. Fluffy, long-grained, and perfectly seasoned with saffron, the rice in this country is like nothing you've ever had.
So Tony, first you should take the butter and put it on your rice. Bon appetit.
Bon appetit. Good.
It's very good, yeah.
It was a hopeful time when I arrived in Iran. A window had opened. There had been a slight loosening of restrictions since the election of President Hassan Rouhani. And there was optimism for a deal that could lead to an easing of crippling economic sanctions imposed because of Iran's continued nuclear program. Trade restrictions that have been very, very difficult for everyone. But there's a push happening between opposing factions in the government. On one hand, Iranians are the descendants of ancient Persia, an empire of poetry, flowers, the highly influential culture that goes back thousands of years. But the ruling clerical and military class are at best ambivalent, at worst actively hostile to much of that tradition. Severe religious-based restrictions of speech, dress, behavior were ushered in by the rise of the Ayatollah during the 1979 Islamic Revolution.
یکی میگه دیره یکی دیگه خسته فاصله ها دوره راه همه بسته
So, how does one have fun in Iran these days?
میگه پلزه مثل رنگین کمون
This is a line that is constantly being tested. Alcohol is, of course, forbidden. You can get away with listening to rock or rap, sort of, sometimes. But you cannot yourself rock or be seen to visibly rock.
یه دوست تازه است زندگیم با دوستم خیلی ساز
Not everyone in Iran is delighted with what their country has become since the revolution. But even insinuating discontent can have consequences. Protesters, dissidents, journalists have been simply disappeared into the maw of the national security system.
What? It's some military place. Don't shoot, please. Oh, don't shoot. Let us cross the...
We are in the northernmost spit of land in Tehran. Up here in Darband, the road stops and it gets really steep. Place for Iranians to escape the heat, escape the pollution, and have a kebab and a shisha, and just kind of unwind. As print journalists,
our job's difficult, but it's also kind of easy because there's so much to write about. You know, the difficult part is convincing people on the other side of the world that what we're telling you we're seeing in front of our eyes is actually there. When you walk down the street, you see a different side of things. People are proud, the culture is vibrant, people have a lot to say.
Jason Rezaian is the Washington Post correspondent for Iran. Yeganeh, his wife, and a fellow journalist, works for the UAE-based newspaper, The National. Jason is Iranian-American. Yeganeh is a full Iranian citizen. This is their city, Tehran.
The official attitude towards fun in general seems to be ever-shifting. How is fun even a good idea?
A lot of push and pull, a lot of give and take. When I first started coming here, you wouldn't hear pop music in a restaurant or,
It's
or
everywhere
now it's
now.
everywhere.
We have police, they arrest girls or women for having bad hijab or not being covered enough. But it's not that we live with the police in our head, you know?
You know, one of the first things that people will say when you say, well, I'm going to Iran, oh yeah, but don't they make women do
Yeah.
this, and this?
Yeah.
Actually, not so much. Not as much as our
Friends.
friends.
Yeah.
Compare and contrast, women aren't allowed to drive in Saudi Arabia
That's right. Or vote.
or vote. You can drive, you can vote.
Yeah, of
Can
course.
you own a business?
Of course. My sister is an accountant. She has her own company. Girls are allowed to do almost everything, except we want to go and watch football, which is like
Can't go watch football.
We cannot.
Women's issues are often at the spear point of change or possible change here. On one hand, prevailing conservative attitudes demand certain things. On the other hand, Iranian women are famously assertive, opinionated. It's a striking difference from almost everywhere else in the region.
So why are we so friendly with the Saudis again?
It's a great question. It's a really good question.
I'm happy that you asked that question.
Do you like it? You happy here?
Look, I'm at a point now after 5 years where I miss certain things about home. I miss my buddies. I miss burritos. I miss having certain beverages with my buddies and burritos in certain types of establishments. But I love it. I love it, and I hate it, you know? But it's home. It's become home.
Are you optimistic about the future?
Yeah, especially if this nuclear deal finally happens. Yeah. Very much, actually.
Despite the hopeful nature of our conversation, 6 weeks after the filming of this episode, Jason and Yeganeh were mysteriously arrested and detained by the police. Sadly, in Iran, this sort of thing is not an isolated incident. What is okay to film in Iran and what is not? What's okay for the friendly, to us at least, Ministry of Guidance might not be okay at all for the Basij, essentially roving young religious militias. Despite all permits and paperwork being in order, we're detained for several hours. This sort of harassment is a daily part of life for Iranians.
Please turn it off right now.
Well, I'm so glad to be here. Thank you. Hello, hi.
Sebastian.
Good to meet you. So, people have been ridiculously nice to us. Aren't you guys supposed to be the axis of evil?
You're absolutely right. We are demonized by the media outside. You show black and white. People are demonstrating and killing and
bombing and this and that, and Syria and this and that. But you never talk about the real people who are actually living peacefully inside the country, because we eventually in the future of the world. We and Americans have a very special place in this Middle East. You cannot play a game without considering Iran as a friend.
One of Farouk's many passions is ancient Persia, culinary history in particular, and he's writing a book on the subject. How do you pronounce the specialty here? Dizi?
What they serve is called dizi, which actually is the name of the pot.
That's right. It's like an earthenware.
Earthenware. Yeah.
Right.
This is one of the early dishes of humankind. It goes back to Mesopotamia 6,000 years ago.
Potato, chickpeas, water, lamb, cooked together. Add a little fat, mash it up with potatoes and chickpeas. That's good. What do Iranians want to eat today? It's a home cooking culture. I mean,
yes, we didn't have the culture of eating out. This is a culture of secret foods in the house. Things which are unheard of. It's not in the book.
That's
Secrets.
really interesting.
A lot of secrets.
Have you ever tried traditional Iranian food?
It's difficult because everybody says the great food of Iran is cooked in people's homes.
Yes.
This is a land of secret recipes, passed down within families like treasured possessions.
Mr. Tony, please.
Beautiful spread of food.
She's my wife, and I'm a really lucky man. She's very good cook.
Bejan, like so many other Iranians I've met, has been kind enough to invite me to his home.
This is milk soup. Milk and chicken soup.
It's really good.
My mom said that Iranian people loves guests and they will never get tired if the guest likes their food. Is call it fesenjan.
A stew of fried chicken, onion, ground walnuts, pomegranate, and tomato paste. And there's fruit, there's some kind of fruit?
Yes, there is the dry apricot inside this as well.
Delicious. So good.
Needed around 24 hours time.
These are very sophisticated, very time-consuming dishes to prepare. Always from scratch, and always in excess of what you could possibly need. You tend to kill your guests with kindness around here.
Tila pila. That dish is from the south of Iran.
From the Persian Gulf?
Persian Gulf.
Yes. And this one is from north. We
Halwa.
call it mahiye halwa.
Maybe if I could try some,
This one?
yes, thank you.
Of course. And that one is qeime. We made it with beans, meat.
So good. Fantastic food.
Man and wife, both of them working,
So
They-
it's hard to do something like
Yes.
this. That's what I've been waiting. That's the crispy rice at the bottom, right there. The
Yeah.
what's it called? Tarek. Is that?
Tadik.
Tadik.
Exactly.
Oh, lovely. Merci.
My mom and my mother-in-law, they think if they have a guest, they have to at least 2 or 3 kind of foods.
Right.
And if they make just one, they think that it is not very polite for a guest. But nowadays, for example, for my generation, when I have a guest, I will just make one food, one appetizer, and one dessert.
You know why?
And
You know why?
because it's much easier. Yes.
Times have changed. Pre-1979, Tehran was party central. But with Iran's 1979 revolution, 2,500 years of monarchy was over. The supreme leader, Ayatollah Khomeini's word, became, more or less, law. Today, hundreds of thousands of Iranians are bused to his enormous shrine from all over the country. A national holiday, Khomeini died on this day in 1989. His funeral attended by over 10 million Iranians.
Viva wisdom!
All of Iranian need in American and all of the world for friendship. Thanks.
You don't want to miss the bus. South of Tehran, the landscape opens up. Nearly 300 miles of Iranian highway stretching to the city of Esfahan. Esfahan is Iran's third largest city. Half the world, as the saying went back when this was the capital of Persia and beyond. The city is renowned for its architecture, the grandest bridges and mosques dating back to the Middle Ages. USA? From America? Where are you from? From Esfahan? Or from Tehran?
Tehran.
Well, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Yes, hello.
Welcome to Iran.
Thank you.
Welcome to Islam.
Thank you so much. It's very beautiful. I'm guessing from the decor, this is a former wrestler's hangout? Tucked deep in the labyrinth of Esfahan's bazaar, the smell of something very, very good. This shop has been here doing the same thing for 100 years. And based on the line, it must be doing it right. I've had biryani in India. I've had it in Uzbekistan. But there's no question who invented biryani.
No, no way.
Biryani. Maybe you know the word, though this doesn't look like any biryani I've ever had. Minced lamb shoulder, onion, turmeric, cinnamon, mint, and of course, saffron, more valuable than gold by weight. This is delicious.
Really good.
Isfahan today, one of the most visited areas by tourists.
Yeah, everybody, you know, if you come to Iran and you don't visit Esfahan, you are wasting your time.
The Royal Mosque sits astride Imam Square, the second largest square in the world behind Tiananmen in China. At dusk, families come to the square to cool off, picnic, have, yes, it looks like even a little bit of fun.
Morning prayer in Esfahan.
میرم تا درگاه خدای مهربون میرم میگم عاشقم خدایا میگن در جان ما این عشق سوزان را رها کن از رنج و غم خدایا.
Across town, the Khaju Bridge, where men gather spontaneously to sing.
یه جون دارم دلم میخواد دارم دلی پر آرزو بیا بیا که دل شکسته ام رو دشت غم نشسته ام یه دل میگه برم.
Is this okay? This impromptu giving oneself over to the creative urge to stand and sing out to no one in particular? Maybe, but not okay, apparently, to film.
Come on, we gotta go. Yep, we gotta go.
The road back to Tehran. Along the way, reminders of just how far back this culture goes. The ruins of ancient caravanserais, highway rest stops from when armies, merchants, traders, traveling by camel, by foot, all passed along these same routes. This, right here, a stop on what was once the Silk Road, extending all the way to China. In this part of the world, whatever your background, bread is a vital, essential, fundamental, and deeply respected staple. And mornings at Tehran, countless bakeries like this one turn out as much as they can.
Oh man, it smells good in here.
We have to stay in line.
No problem.
Standing on line is a daily part of life for many Iranians.
They bake these things on small stones. It gives it that texture.
This is why it's called sangak. Sang means stone, pebble.
In the years since the 1979 revolution, Iranians have weathered wars, food shortages, and crippling trade sanctions that have caused the economy to sputter.
So I'm gonna make you a small table.
All right.
Babak is kind enough to take me for breakfast.
This is called halim.
Awesome. And it's made from bulgur wheat?
Yes. And you know what is inside except wheat? It is meat. It is turkey. This is a mixture of sugar and cinnamon.
Oh, that's good.
You like?
Yeah. And this bread is amazing. So you were how old when the war with Iraq started?
I was exactly 7.
Iraq attacked, and it was a surprise attack.
Iran's 8-year-long war with Saddam Hussein's Iraq is deeply, deeply felt. Hundreds of thousands of Iranians, many of them children, died fighting in that conflict.
Were you afraid?
We were afraid. My brother was in the France for 3 years out of 8. And it was not only my brother, many young people like him. 8 years of war, you know, with a country that is supported by many big powers.
And it is worth mentioning, whatever you think, wherever we are now, that Saddam, supported by the US government and with our full knowledge, used sarin and mustard gas on hundreds of thousands of Iranians. Less known in America, known and felt by everyone in Iran.
And it was a mistake of the United States at that time. They made a bad memory for Iranians.
But it's still, people are indeed really, really nice here. I mean,
Because people here don't hate Americans. You helped a coup, and then a revolution, everything, and then we captured your embassy, and okay, it's finished. We didn't kill each other. We didn't have a real fight. So it can be some political misunderstanding, which is resolved, which will be resolved. Maybe, I hope.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
So far, Iran does not look, does not feel the way I'd expected. Neither east nor west, but always somewhere in the middle.
well, it looks spectacular.
You can't have this in a restaurant. It's time-consuming, it's very expensive, so you have to, Persian cuisine has to be experienced in somebody's home.
Oh, thank you.
So this one here is called bozgorme.
It's slow-cooked lamb in yogurt, is that right?
In yogurt and saffron and egg yolks.
Nazila, prominent art gallery owner, insisted I come over for lunch with her friends and family.
And here we have the sour cherry rice, little meatballs and chicken.
Sour cherries. More than any other nation, I think we love sour.
Yeah.
Rahim, the cook, has been with the family for generations. Rice mixed with yogurt and saffron, baked into a crispy dome. Don't think of rice as a side dish around here. It can be the main event.
Okay, very, very good. You put far more on the table than anyone could conceivably eat. Is that?
Yeah. If you don't like your guest, you don't put anything.
And here we have kufte, which is a large, very big meatball.
Kufte Tabrizi, ground beef, onion, and cooked rice. Walnuts, dried apricots, boiled egg, and barberries.
Anyways, we are a very interesting nation.
Indeed, and very, very confusing.
Extremely confusing, yes,
For me,
yes, yes.
the contradictions are just enormous.
Iranians, we take you to our house and we take you to our hearts and all of that. And in that way, we are extreme. You know, we are extremists in so many ways.
So good. Okay. You see this tortured relationship between America and Iran for many years. How do you think most Americans will react when they see this?
Start coming.
It is very important for us as Iranians to get through, to make sure that we are seen as humans here, not the so-called enemy or the darkness of Iran. You know, like you go to anybody's house in Iran, and I'm sure they will welcome you.
The excess of evil, we're not the excess of evil. No, just normal evil, like everybody else.
10 years ago, Iran was, people, they had hope for future, young people. They wanted to travel, they had a little bit money, but because of sanction, this sanction really squeezed everybody. 8 years, no foreign investment here, and so it was a very difficult time. I mean, the population is really young, 70% are under 35. And the thing is, they deserve much more than what they have now. They want to have good job, they want to, have families, but it's not possible now for them.
I hope we can have more faith in the ordinary Americans, because every little change in the policy of the Western country, it really, really affects our lives here.
The Malad Tower, Iran's tallest building and a symbol of national pride. It rises 1,000 feet in the air and looks out at all Tehran and beyond. We were out on the observation deck, taking it all in, trying to make some sense of it all. Our time in Iran was coming to an end, and it was impossible to say, was a window opening Or was it only a moment in time before it shut again? You learn pretty quickly that in Iran, there is plenty of gray area, an undefined territory. Where is the line? It seems to change with barely a moment's notice.
Okay, here it comes.
Now, it's dangerous.
This is the first time that we have experienced such thing.
Stay away from the glass.
Please find this way. Please follow me. This way.
Okay.
Please stop filming.
Last day in Iran. Night falls, and the kids, like kids anywhere, get in their rides and head for somewhere they can hang out.
Amazing display of American classics here. Where do you get them?
Old people's, yeah.
Old guys, right. And then fix them up?
Yeah.
Mustang?
Camaro, yeah.
Firebird?
Pontiac.
That's a perfect LA car right there. Is this a car club or is this just people just come?
We hang out this way with our friends.
Awesome, all right. Well, I called out for a little delivery.
One last thing everyone's been telling me I have to try. Iranian takeout pizza.
It comes with ketchup.
What do you think about Iranian pizza?
Not bad.
Not bad.
We don't put ketchup on pizza, though.
I love ketchup.
Here. I spent my youth pretty much doing this, hanging in a parking lot. Let's assume the worst. Let's assume that you cannot see any way to reconcile what you think of Iran with your own personal beliefs, that you just generally don't approve.
Yeah.
I think those are exactly the sort of places you should go.
Totally.
See who we're talking about and where we're talking about here. And
I think it's almost un-American not to go to those places, you know?
I don't know that I can put it in any kind of perspective. I feel, deeply conflicted, deeply confusing, exhilarating, heartbreaking, beautiful place.
Yeah, exactly.
American cars are crazy.
American cars are crazy and they're fun.
Yeah.
All I can tell you is the Iran I've seen on TV and read about in the papers, it's a much bigger picture. Let's put it this way. It's complicated.
After 10 weeks, Yeganeh was finally released. But as I read these lines, Jason remains a prisoner. His future, the reasons for their arrest, are still unknown.
1, 2, 3.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you,
We'll
too.
see.
Thank you, too.